Morning sunshine. Most of the time we record these to be kind of evergreen episodes. It could be watched anytime. The idea is it could be useful on any given day. But right now, as we're dealing globally with COVID-19 and the way it's changing everyone's lives, I wanted to start a new series of Morning Sunshine, specifically looking at and talking about what stress feels like in our bodies, what it feels like to go through times of intensity, and some practices I've developed as I've gone through other times of intensity the last few years. And the first thing I just want you to know is if you're feeling inexplicable kind of tiredness, that's okay. It's valid and it's really understandable. I think sometimes we view our physical energy as almost like a very simple math equation. We look at what we've done in a day. For instance, I had a day yesterday where I walked for 3 hours. So when I came home and my legs had tiredness in them, that made sense to me. And I could draw a direct line between the physical activity I'd had and the physical sensation I felt. But I think what happens in times of stress is we can feel a sense of tiredness that we can't really pinpoint on an external explanation. We think, why am I so tired? I didn't even leave the house today. I certainly did not walk for 3 hours. I feel like I actually didn't do much at all, and it doesn't seem to lift even when I sleep. And I think one of the shifts for us to do is to not just think that external activity and physical exertion counts, but to also recognize and notice and validate the internal and invisible work that we're doing. The corners we're having to turn really sharp, really fast, really hard on the inside. The things we're having to work our heart around. The dramatic change and regrouping that we're being required to do. And to let ourselves know that externally the equation may not always add up, because it's an invisible and internal weight that we're feeling very much of the time. The physical things are still there too, but these are another layer on top of it. And when I feel that sense of inexplicable tiredness, I've had to just really learn how to discern for myself when it's my body's way of saying to me that I need to stop, drop, and get horizontal, which we've done an episode about, or when it is when I'm experiencing a stress response, it's sending me into like a kind of a frozen mode, in which case sometimes I will try to kind of jolt myself out of that with either something as simple as another cup of coffee or tea, and I have used quite a bit of those to get through life of late, or to physically move my body, to jolt out, or to access anything I possibly can on my to-do list just to keep moving. And it really is just a practice of discernment to learn what you need. Like, is this me just falling into freeze? And what am I needing to do right now? Am I actually what I need is to keep moving, or is actually what I need to just lay down and stop? Or give myself a day just to like stare out the window and be like, okay, I guess this is happening. And make sure that we're leaving time for that too. And I think that's the main thing, is to learn to leave time for all the things and to leave time to feel all the feelings. Now, maybe you can't feel them all the time, or just at any time of day that you want. Maybe there are times of day where you have to show up for your work, you have to show up for your caregiving. There may be times where you struggle to have privacy and private spaces to feel those things, but whether it's in the bath or the shower or going to bed before everyone else so you have the room before you go to sleep, to just build in time so that whatever in you needs to like inhale and exhale can do it. And whatever in you needs to like unravel a little bit or burst out has a minute. The other day coming home from the grocery store, I kind of felt like, okay, when I get home, I might just need to like stop and cry a second before I go upstairs back with my family. And like maybe that's what you need too, is just for us to kind of build in times and be really compassionate with ourselves. And if we're feeling an inexplicable sense of tiredness, to not add on an additional layer of self-criticism or self-judgment about that, but to hold that too with kindness and compassion, the same way we would with a child or a really good friend. So if you're feeling that tiredness today, I hope you'll listen to your body, try to really hear the truth of what it needs, and do everything you can to give it to it. Be safe, be well, more soon.